Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound. It's another of our video calls, chatting with everybody while we're all at home at the minute. I'm delighted to say from Less Than Jake, we've got Chris and Roger on the line. How are you guys?
Doing great. Excellent. How are you? Good morning.
Doing good, man. Yeah. Then we'll start this off in the way we've kind of started them all off, which is to say, of course, I hope you guys are staying safe and well, along with all your loved ones, your families, all that kind of stuff. Just generally, how have these last few months at home been for you? We'll start with you, Chris. How have you been occupying your time these last few months at home?
Just been trying to stay busy with, whatever we can do within the band and outside of the band. I started the podcast some months ago and, just doing what we can. It's been very interesting, to say the least. Our band has been touring for the better part of 30 years, every year. We're still touring harder than bands half our age. So it was kind of like our proverbial legs were cut off this year. And not just for us, for a lot of bands and people within the industry, it's been really tough.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely tough. We're hoping for the return of live music for sure. Roger, same question to you, man. How's life been at home these last few months?
Yeah, I mean, it's weirdly relaxing. I'm missing the energy transfer from the shows more than anything. I just didn't realize how addicted I was to that. But I kind of feel like I'm gathering kinetic energy. I'm just kind of like gardening and like painting a little bit and just kind of being a little domestic. And I'm working on some cover record for my other band, Rehasher, and we've been doing a bunch of stuff for the Less Than Jake record that's coming out. So we've been slightly busy, but really it's just been kind of the ultimate downtime. We've never had downtime like this. So
yeah, so many bands I've been chatting to recently have said exactly that. Like, it's the longest they've spent at home. I imagine with you guys, given that, like you said, you're known for touring constantly. Like, you guys are always on the road. It's got to be kind of surreal. This must be the longest you've spent at home in a very, very long time, right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And we had done a tour, late in the year, and then we had already had a few months sort of planned with very few shows at the end of the year, the beginning of the year. So we were really not ready for it because we already had some time off.
Man, so surreal. Well, hopefully those shows will come back sooner rather than later. We remain hopeful. For live music. But in the meantime, let's talk about what we actually can do at this time, which is release new music. And very exciting. The new album is imminent. It has just been announced kind of at the time of recording. It's coming very soon. Let's start with when this kind of came together. Is this something you've been writing during this downtime over this last year? Or have you had these songs for a little while?
So we started... The first demo that came through, because we all have our own home recording setups, but it was January of 2019. And I woke up one morning and there was a demo from Roger. He had written a song. And that was kind of the start of it. And then, all of us kind of started pitching in at that point. And then the first rehearsal we had was Roger, myself, and our new drummer, Matt Yonker. That was in June or July, I think it was July of 2019. And of course, we were on the road the whole year. So we were, in between tours and on the tour bus, we kind of, hey, check out this idea. And we were cultivating the songs. And we toured right up until November 1st of last year. We ended a tour in Gainesville at a thing called The Fest. We headlined the Fest down there. And the very next Monday, 2 days later, we started recording at Roger's studio, the Moat House in Gainesville. So we recorded the record in November and December, and the album was mixed in February of this year, and it was done. So we've been sitting on it for a minute.
Yeah, no, it's good that you guys almost got it ready just in time by the sounds of it, just before it all kind of hit in. That's good to have that ready to go, right?
We were planning a sort of a spring or a summer release, and then we realized didn't do shows, and we kind of pushing it back a little bit, and then kind of realizing, oh man, they're not going to open it up, and then let's push it back a little more. And now finally we were just at that point where we're like, shows or no shows, we need our fans to hear these songs. We need to let everyone know that we're moving forward and we have a lot more music on the way. So it feels good to actually have one of the songs out there floating around.
Yeah, let's talk about that then, shall we? Because that's the first single that's already out there. It's called Lie to Me. Already getting a great reaction from fans and everything. I want to start with a music video on that because, like many people, nice little social distance music video. What was that experience like? Kind of surreal, or was it easy to get those things going separately?
Well,
I mean, it was kind of fun in a weird way. We just kind of did our own little parts there and sent them in, and the director did a great job of piecing it all together.
Yeah, there was really no way for us to all get in the same room. We don't live all in Gainesville anymore. It's just Roger and Buddy down there. So the rest of us are all kind of spread apart. So she did did what she could with the footage, and there was really no way. There was talk of having us not even be in the video. That was the first thing, and then it was like, well, we can be in the video, and so we went, and that's how it turned out.
No, it's a clever move, I think. It's nice to see people adapt and find weird ways to insert themselves into videos when it's like that way. It kind of worked pretty well, I think. It's a nice idea, right? I take it there'll be more of that kind of thing on the way then when there's more singles coming. You guys got any ideas lined up for how else you want to pursue that avenue?
We do, but I'm not going to give that away to you right now on what platform our next video may or may not be. Yeah, I'm just going to just got to kind of stick around and watch the chats and stuff, and it'll be out there, but I'm not going to give that away, man.
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't expect you. I like the surprises. We all like the surprises here and there. Guys, tell me actually a little bit about the track, obviously, because Lie to Me, like you say, it's the first taster of the album. When was that one in particular written, and how did that actual track come together?
I think I started with the music of that song, like Chris was saying, that was one of the really early ones, probably January of 2019. And I don't know, man, just started kind of shaping it and kind of feeling out the melodies and the feel of it. And it's kind of an intricate little thing. There's kind of a drum beat on there that's not something that the band's ever done before. And I actually, some of the final bits of lyrics were written really late in the game, like right at the end of the tracking is when we came up with the pre-chorus and the bridge, right, Chris? I think that those parts came a little later. But
yeah, I think so. That was one of the, Roger had at that point probably had 4 or 5 songs submitted, and I don't know, Lie to Me was just my favorite one because he had the actual horn part. He had written it on a keyboard, and it reminded me of the band Huey Lewis and the News. I was just like, I thought it was great from the time that I heard it. So that was kind of one of the ones that stuck out. But yeah, I think Roger is right. I think it was the bulk of the song was written, but the bridge and everything else kind of came later.
Yeah, and as you guys alluded to earlier, new drummer on this record. You got Matt Yonker on there. What was it like kind of bringing him in and working with him? It's, I guess, almost trial by fire in a way if you've been hitting the touring hard as well and then getting straight in the studio.
Well, it transpired our former drummer Vinny left in August of 2018, late in the month. And 2 weeks later, we had a show with Bad Religion and the Interrupters and a bunch of bands. It was in front of 10,000 people at a festival out in Seattle. And Matt Yonker used to play in a punk band called the Teen Idols. And Matt's been working with us and part of our team for almost 20 years now. So he's did everything from sell t-shirts to tune the guitars on stage, to be our sound guy, to be our tour manager. He's worn every kind of hat. So when Vinny left, it was kind of like there was really no other choice. We didn't have time. It was either lose the gig to try to audition drummers. It wasn't going to happen. And we just said, Matt, here's the sticks, get back behind the kit. And that was pretty much it. We didn't audition anybody. He was the first and only thought, really. And he's an amazing drummer. He comes from a little different place than Vinny did. Matt is not just a punk rock drummer, but he's a rock drummer. So, he grew up playing rock music and then transitioned to punk rock. So he's a great groove drummer. He hits really hard. And he just has kind of opened up some new doors for us. It's been great.
Yeah, I would imagine as well, that's got to be so lovely when it's someone like that and have known for years. I imagine the dynamic in the band, it was probably quite an easy fit, right?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I know a bunch of ripping drummers, okay? I know crazy good drummers, but there's the personality side of it that is the harder thing to fit in, and Matt's been on the road with us for, like Chris said, almost 20 years. So it there was no change in the spirit and the feeling within the band. It was just that we just kind of continued with that same feeling with one of our best friends. So it's been, I think, as easy as a transition as possible. And hopefully a lot of fans will just kind of think it's sort of seamless and they won't really, maybe they won't really even notice. I don't know. Maybe people won't even notice. I have no idea.
Be interested to see. Be interested to see. And speaking of, looking back at these kind of the ridiculous journey and that huge amount of time and these milestones that keep coming up, because it's been now 25 years since Pezcore, I believe, or we've just kind of passed it, right? That must have been in August, I imagine. I know you guys have reissued that in the past and done like live things around it and things. But I mean, do you still stop and reflect when you hit these milestones? 25 years is a pretty big one, right? That's got to be a moment for you.
Yeah, it's I always say the only thing that went by was the calendar. It's just, you blink your eye and you're like, and then every once in a while I look in the mirror and I don't know who that old bastard is staring back at me. But other than that, I mean, it literally feels like yesterday sometimes. And then at other times it feels like a lifetime ago. But, I think collectively as a band, we don't rest on our laurels or, oh my gosh, 25 years, you just kind of keep pushing. It's great. It's great that people recognize that. That's really cool. And we recognize it too, but, we're still making new music and we know in the back of our minds that we're always going to go out and play those songs, so we can always go play Pezcore and Hello Rockview and all the records that the fans love. That's never going to go away.
Yeah, very, very.
It feels like there's an anniversary all the time. It's like, oh, it's 22 years since this record. It's 25. Oh, this came out 10 years ago. Like the TV EP, Chris, is 10 years old yesterday. Just so
I know. I read about that.
And stuff like that. But I'm kind of a person that sort of like stays in the moment. I try not to like think about what we've done before. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like after people hear our next record, and then this next thing I'm going to say, I think holds some water. Like I really strongly feel that this band has not written their best songs yet, that we still have a lot to go. And I think that that's sort of what keeps us going, is the love for the creation of the songs and playing these songs that we love, that we wrote together, and sharing that feeling with the fans. Like that like addiction's not going away. And I think, we still have way more songs to write and way better songs to write. So it's crazy to think that Pezcore is 25 years old. Well, man, in 25 years from now, we're going to have some killer songs.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. It's a good attitude to have. Definitely pushing forward in that way. Similarly, I mean, you guys have just signed to Pure Noise, right, for this particular record. How did that one come about? Because that's quite an interesting choice. Great label, great mix of artists on there.
Yeah, we actually did our previous EP with them, Sound the Alarm, that came out a couple years ago. And we were sort of introduced to those guys sort of in that scene of some of those bands, like The Story So Far. And just got a really good vibe from those guys.
Yeah, they have, when we put the Sound the Alarm out, we were noticing that we were getting some younger fans checking the band out because they have a younger demographic. And it's really cool for us because, we know our fans aren't going to go away. Well, we hope that they're not. They've stuck with us this long. But to get the younger people into us that maybe wouldn't have found out about us, it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's always good to see when that kind of thing happens. And speaking to that as well, something I've talked to everybody about recently, like we said, you guys are one of the hardest touring bands out there. It got to be so difficult to try and maintain those fan connections in that community. But I guess now that we are stuck in this particular moment, technology helps. So have you guys thought about when this record's coming out in a few weeks, like how you're going to keep connecting with fans online? Is there maybe a live stream show? I don't know, or anything like that?
Yes, we've thought about it. Yes, we've thought about it. You keep trying to get us to give away stuff, man. We're into surprising people.
Well, there we go. That's all I needed. Yes, we've thought about it. That's an answer. I'll take it. I will take that answer to that question.
We kind of have a campaign in the next year that we're trying to put we're in the process of putting together right now, because we don't know when we can go out and, traditionally you used to record a record, you'd go out and promote it on the road. And time, even before the pandemic, times have changed. You go on, you make a record to go on the road, and in the old days you used to go on the road to promote the record. So we're just gonna keep doing everything that we can within the constraints of not being able to bring the live show to people.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting watching how everybody has been adapting of late and seeing different ideas and stuff. And it's kind of inspiring to see. I'm sure whatever you guys pull out of the bag will be very, very interesting and great and direct with the fans in that way. I'll leave you with this, gentlemen, because I always like to ask, it's a standard question, but an interesting one, the album title, because it's always a mission statement for bands, whether they think about it or not. It always feels like a mission statement. And let's be honest, having some new music, it's a bit of a silver lining in this particular year and particular hellscape we find ourselves in. Talk to me about why you decided that was going to be the title for the record as a whole.
Actually, that was decided even before the whole pandemic, so that's an even weirder thing. But our trombone player Buddy came up with the name of this record.
Yeah, Buddy came up with it one day, and it was weird because we'll go round robin in this band with 30 ideas, and we'll be calling a week from now and be like, but I think this one. Then it'll change a week from there. And as soon as he said it, we all just went, I like that. I like that. It was one of those times where we all agreed on everything at once. And in a band, that's a rare thing, which was cool. And like Raj said, it was before all this happened. And I've actually been asked in numerous interviews lately, so is that like hope, silver linings, hope with all this? I'm like, man, this happened before all this happened, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, nice when those things work out, though, isn't it? It's like, that was meant to be, clearly, as the title for this particular.
I think some of it reflects on, having a new drummer and sort of the rest of us in the band taking on the lyrical responsibilities that our old drummer had. I think that maybe has some light on what the title means, but it also just kind of, some of those songs are sort of about, getting through things and finding the thing that pulls you through, and the theme of that kind of carries in the record, I feel. So it's I'm very happy. I think it's a very appropriate title, and hopefully everyone else will understand after they hear the depth of the record.
Absolutely, man. We'll look forward to hearing it. Best of luck with everything, guys. And just kind of in the meantime, we hope to see you in the UK when you can. But in the meantime, stay safe out there, and love to the rest of the guys and all your families and everything. But fingers crossed for some UK shows next year, right? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and I just want to thank all the UK fans and Rock Sound, everybody for promoting, supporting, and helping this band continue to do what we do over there. It's probably, don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings in the world. It's one of my favorite places to play.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, James. We really do appreciate you guys. And honestly, if it wasn't for the UK and our fans over there, who the hell knows if we would even still be doing this, man. You guys are the best.
Man, we do love you guys over here. Look forward to seeing you when you make it back over. All right. Good to see you guys.
Cheers.